Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is Dana Rabchek. She is the Executive Director of Children's Wish Group of Rhode Island. It's her first time on the show. It's our first time learning about the organization. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about Children's Wish Group of Rhode Island.
At Children's Wish Group, we grant wishes to children with life-threatening illnesses, ages 2.5 to 18. And we believe that granting a wish to a child with a life-threatening illness can give them the hope, happiness, and a sense of magic that they need to get through the difficult times and give them some motivation to continue.
Grant that last wish, something that they can just kind of be happy about, and just those last days. How did it come about? Now, people know that there are a lot of sort of wish granting organizations out there, but Children's Wish Group, how did this one particularly come about?
We believe that it was important to have an organization where the children and families felt comfortable coming by the office, knowing that they had a place to go where they could meet other children, other families, and feel special on a daily basis. And also somewhere where the volunteers and donors and supporters could make a connection with the children and families, a local organization where everyone can get together and see where their funds are going, see where their time is being spent, and know that they're donating towards local children and someone who could be their neighbor.
That's key, the localness of it, because like we mentioned, there are other wish granting organizations, but making the donation or making the request, you may have to go to some corporate headquarters in another part of the country, and God bless them if everything works out and that's the case, that's great, but there's something about just strictly staying in Rhode Island, isn't there?
Exactly. We have found that Rhode Island donors like to know that their money is staying in Rhode Island, going towards local businesses when we grant the wish, and of course that the child that they see and want to help is getting the most benefit from their money.
I would imagine if it's local and it's staying in Rhode Island, originating and staying there, then the process would be quicker. Is that true too?
It's pretty quick. We try to keep it as quick as possible from the time we get the referral to the time that the volunteers go and visit the children and the wish for request is made. We try to keep it as quick as possible. Some of the children are facing time limitations.
Right.
The steps they're fairly easy. Once we know what the wish is, we want to make it happen for the child as quickly as possible and make their dream come true in a pretty easy fashion.
Time really is an issue in some cases because you have to get working on it right away depending on how much time they have left, sadly, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely a negative aspect to our organization, but we focus on the positive and we keep the joy in every moment and make sure that the families and the children can spend quality time together, that they're not, if they're going on Disney, they're not worried about planning and doing all that. We do all that for them, and we try to make it happen as quickly as possible so that they can, look forward to spending those moments together and keep them close to their heart.
The planning stuff that you talked about, the key to that is the lessening of the stress and the anxiety, not only of the child, but even more so as far as the logistics go, of the family, the immediate family. Talk about that a little bit.
Exactly. The family and the children, they're spending a lot of their time in hospitals, in doctors' offices, or just doing their day-to-day things to keep up with everything. So we make it so that they have, have to do very little with the planning of it and those stress points of planning a trip or of a bedroom makeover, things like that. We plan it all for them. We obviously ask their opinion on things. We want to make sure that every aspect of what they're looking for is included in the wish, but they don't have to worry about, once they go to Disney World, spending money or, making sure they have that money in savings or getting luggage, things like that can take a lot out of a family, especially when they're going through so much already. A
regular trip. For just people that aren't in this situation, so many little things can fall through the cracks, and you don't need those kind of worries piled on top of what they have to go through, the child is having to go through. So this really does alleviate a lot of anxiety, don't you think?
It does, definitely. A lot of the families can't even think of taking a trip or redoing their child's bedroom because they have so many other stressors in their lives. Obviously, their children always come first, but at that moment it's their health, it's other things that their school, things that they need to try to catch up on and keep up on. So when we plan those wishes, we're taking it all in our hands, and we're making sure that they're involved in the fun aspects of everything, but they don't have to worry about those things.
Are all the children that are involved with Children's Wish Group, is it all the inevitable ending for them, or are there some where they're not necessarily the case?
Not necessarily terminal illnesses.
Right.
Unfortunately, we do have those where the wish needs to be rushed, and we are aware of those ones. Other ones, either way, we try to make the wish happen quickly, but sometimes they want to wait until after their operation to go on their trip, or we kind of work in that way if it's doable.
And in a lot of cases you have to work around their medical needs, I would imagine, right? That's got to be one of the toughest things.
It is, definitely, but we make sure that we work with medical services that can help us make sure that whatever they need, a wheelchair is ready for them when they get off the plane, or whatever they need is our formula, anything is already there for them, so that they don't have to worry about packing it, except what they need on their ride there. It's all ready for them, and they can know that they'll be basically waited on hand and foot once they get to wherever they're going.
And the more that you do this, the more that Children's Wish Group does this, the more familiar you are with the procedure. And not that it gets easier every time, but it just becomes not routine, because that's not the right word to use, but you're just more familiar with procedure, and in a way it does get easier the more you do it. Contacts are made, just a familiarity with certain you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Every family is different, and every child's needs are different, but we do know the steps to take better when we are confronted with something. So when we make those contacts, even if it's the first time we make that contact, we know we can go back to them the next time, because they were happy to be a part of it, because they enjoyed being a part of the wish granting process. So we know that we can go to them the next time that may come up, or something else happens. We do have contacts that help us, and that they feel good about being a part of it, so we don't hesitate to go towards them.
It's got to be a very rewarding job for you, the ability to be able to grant wishes. I mean, it's got to do your heart something wonderful, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. I feel good about what I do every day in the office. It's changed my life completely. I've met so many amazing families and children who are so inspirational. They go through so much with things that we can't even imagine, but the kids are still kids. They still enjoy the little things. They still enjoy playing most of the time, and they still look forward to things. And the families, just treasure every moment they have with their child, and they focus on that. So it's really, it's something to look up to, certainly.
The petty things just fall by the wayside. They don't exist when time is precious.
Exactly, and that's what they focus on. And it's definitely, it can be very upsetting to learn about these children and what they go through, but we try to focus on the positive, because that's what the families do.
Yeah.
They're always, up until surgery time, they're positive, always positive, and they're just keeping a smile on for their children, and making sure that their children feel safe and that they're loved, and that's really all we can do.
Do you have to, because you have to, sort of keep somewhat disconnect yourself a little bit emotionally, so that you are actually able to do your job? Because if you got too emotionally attached and thought about it too much, you would never have a dry eye in your office, right?
Exactly. I could cry all day if I sat there and kept thinking about things, and going through their files, and thinking about what they go through. So I have my moments, and then
because
I'm kind of like,
exactly,
and then I'm kind of like, okay, you know what the family is going through is so much worse and so much more difficult. So let's contain ourselves and focus on what we need to do, because we need to make a difference.
Right, and you also know that you'll be helping kids down the road too. You can't get bogged down with your own feelings. You're doing it for them.
Right. This is a positive thing in their lives. We're making memories. We're creating magic, something that they may not have even dreamed could happen. So let's focus on that, and stay focused so that we can keep doing this and keep granting more wishes.
Now, a couple of times during our conversation so far, you mentioned Disney World, you mentioned a bedroom makeover. So I want to talk to you about some of the more popular or common wish requests that the kids make.
Yeah, definitely. So Disney World is number one.
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, the children, all the time that they spend in the doctor's offices and the hospitals, in bed, whatever it may be, they're watching, the Disney Channel there, and they just think of it as this magical place, which it is.
Right, Magic Kingdom.
Exactly. So they want to meet Mickey Mouse. They want to meet all of those characters that bring them joy. So that's why they want to go to Disney. It is the number one request, and we love sending them there. We know that they're going to be treated like queens, princesses, princes, whatever it may be. And we work with Give Kids the World there. It's a villa where all the children stay. They all get their own little villas. And
Nice.
It's for children all over the world who are getting their Disney wishes granted.
So it must be huge for Disney. I mean, like you said, kids coming in from all over the world, because if that's the number one, it's the number one request by kids everywhere, right?
Yes, exactly. So we have them stay at Give Kids the World. They get their own little villa. They get passes to the parks. And it's run almost entirely by volunteers. So everyone who is there wants to be there.
They get to cut all the lines and everything too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it's just amazing. Their experience at Give Kids the World and then at Disney is something that they could never experience. Only children who are getting their wishes granted can experience it. So it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and something very special.
Obviously, depending on the situation, some kids might not physically be able to go to Disney. I'm sure the attempts are made whenever possible, but it's not always able, right?
Exactly. We do have to get the doctor to let us know that the wish is okay. They have to approve the wish. So if the doctor does not approve the wish, or most of the families know already that this isn't going
Right.
to, a trip isn't going to
feasible.
happen.
Right.
So we're working on a bedroom makeover right now. Malik.
So
from
that's the other
Providence.
one you mentioned, a bedroom makeover. That's a wish that someone asked for, huh?
He wants his very own bedroom that is going to be complete with blue bedding and blue curtains, and we're getting a rug. Cardi's Furniture is donating furniture for him. We've got a basketball hoop for his door, and musical posters, things like that, all the things that he loves. He just wants his very own special room. He spends a lot of time there. He wants it to be something fun, so we get him a TV, a DVD player, things like that, so that when he's home, he can enjoy himself, relax after school, and just have a great time.
It's interesting that some, even with terminal illnesses, will still go to school and, as much as possible, try to have as normal a life for a kid as possible.
A lot of them have to miss a lot of school, and they still do amazing in school. It's something, they want to go to school. They want to be there. When they're taken away from a situation where their friends are and things like that.
It's a socializing thing.
Exactly. It makes them want to be there and miss out on things. And, that's obviously very upsetting to the child, but they work hard to be able to go back to school and to keep up their grades. So we always hear how great of students these children are.
What are some like outrageous wishes that you've gotten, or some very unique or unusual wishes that kids have asked for? Do they want to meet like famous people, anything like that, or?
We did. Our first wish was for Demi Lovato, to meet Demi Lovato.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin Bieber will be next, I'm sure.
I know. Yeah, that's. So we sent him in a limo to her concert, and then got him a meet and greet with her, and he was just over the moon excited to get him a gift certificate so he could get a new outfit and things like that. He had a great time with his family. So for our first wish that we granted, that was definitely one that we were proud of, that we could make that connection for him. We had a family who just got back from Hershey Park a couple months ago. They wanted to go to Hershey Park as a family, so they wanted to drive there. They didn't feel comfortable flying somewhere, so their choice was
closer.
Hershey. Yeah, was
You could
Hershey
drive
Park.
to it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we rented them a car, and they all went as a family. I think about 6 or 7 people went, so they had a great time. So it's different. It's neat things like that they think are really special, but definitely something that would fit their family perfectly and fit the wish child perfectly, of course.
Now, you have there some names or some some kids and some feel-good stories. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure, yeah. So we just talked about Malik. We're working on his bedroom makeover. He's 10 years old from Providence, and it's so enjoyable talking to his mom and hearing, the things. He didn't ask for anything outrageous. He just wants, these special things that most people have, a TV, posters of a guitar, things like that will make him really happy, and that, he didn't ask for too much. He wanted clothes for his closet as well. So things that we can make happen and that will give him a smile and make him feel special, we'll definitely do. We're working on an iPad wish for Jeffrey. He's 17 years old. And he has a seizure disorder, but he's also highly autistic. So we got special software that he can use. We've worked with his teachers so that he can, work on different communication skills. So that was great. So we granted that iPad wish, got him some special software. So it's things like that are really beneficial towards these children, and that we're happy to work on. It's a lot of fun.
How easily are you able to go to these organizations and companies that you work with to be able to grant wishes for these children? Are they very open to you, to be willing to work with you on this? Because it seems there's like great companies, great organizations out there, great people.
Yeah, definitely. We have our organizations that help us out every time. I know for any of our furniture bedroom makeover wishes, we can go to Cardi's. They help us out with every single wish we have. They're just amazing, and they're always there for us. And like East Commerce Solutions, who's one of our sponsors, if we have a wish where it's difficult, he'll give us a list of contacts that we can go towards, or help pay for part of the wish. And he's always sponsoring things. It's all about the children at East Commerce Solutions. And it's just, we do have our specific businesses that we can go to because we know that they're always there to support, always there for the children.
And these are all Rhode Island businesses, right?
They are, yes. Yeah. Yep. And it is a little bit more difficult for us. A lot of the bigger companies, the bigger stores are already connected with national organizations, so they can't help us out in a huge way, but they're always willing to give us a gift certificate and things like that.
Every little bit helps, right?
Exactly. So if we can chip away at those wishes and we can invite everyone in the community to be a part of it, and together we can grant it, it's a wonderful feeling.
How are you as far as financially able to be viable? Donations? I know the gifts that the organizations and the companies give, but how about just from a pure money standpoint?
Mm-hmm. We work very hard to create more events every year to help those events grow. That's basically, we get our donations from individual donations, event fundraisers. That's pretty much the only way we get our donations. So we're very busy in the office with events and keeping everything new and exciting so that people can have fun while supporting children's wishes.
Well, let's talk about a big event then coming up October 19th, a big race coming up.
Sure, yes. It's the Amazing Wish Race, October 19th. It's a scavenger hunt throughout Rhode Island, so it involves many different businesses.
The whole state?
Yes,
wow.
Pretty much. We don't go too far. We don't want people driving around too far, but it's pretty spread out depending on who wants to be involved. And it starts out at our office. 9 to 11 is the registration, so everyone comes, registers, gets a free T-shirt, has some snacks. And then the teams of 4 get their first clue. And once they figure out their first clue, they're led to their first challenge spot, which may be anywhere. But they have to guess where they're being led first. They check in with us first because we don't want people driving around aimlessly.
Right.
It's just part of the fun. And then they head to their first challenge spot. They complete their challenge. They get timed on how quickly they complete their challenge, not the driving in between. And the team with the least amount of time wins over $2,000 in Cardi's gift cards.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
It is. It's great, definitely. So examples of challenges that we had last year. Let's see. We had them. They had to complete a corn maze at Confreda Farms. So they had to find their way in and out and do all of that, and they got timed on that.
And that's good for that fall time of the year, you know, a corn maze, that's perfect.
It is. It was a perfect. They had such a great time, and it's great that Confreda, you know, was willing to help us out, and all these people got to go through their corn maze because they usually charge for it. They let them go for free. So in their registration fee of $25, they're actually getting to do a lot of things that they would normally have to pay for.
Right, and that they would probably be willing to pay for on their own anyway, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then they had headed to Newport Creamery. They had an Awful Waffle challenge. So the whole team had to finish 2 Awful Waffles.
Why wasn't I in this contest?
So, you know, we have food challenges, we have physical challenges. They did batting cages at East Commerce Solutions. They had to do a mini scavenger hunt at Cardi's. And then, you know, we had a couple different things, rock climbing at rock spot climbing, different things like that. It makes it a lot of fun, keeps everyone interested and entertained, and they get pretty competitive. It's all in fun, but everyone, they want to get those gift cards.
Now, this race, that what you're talking about, is October 19th. Okay,
Right.
where and what time and all the pertinent information that
Sure.
people will need.
October 19th, that's a Saturday, and registration is at 9 o'clock at the Children's Wishes office on Post Road in Warwick. So everyone will come, register, get their t-shirts, and then get their first clue. And then we have to keep all the challenge spots secret until then. So after they finish their scavenger
You have
hunts.
like armed guards there to make sure nobody cheats or
Yes,
anything?
yeah, no cheating.
Yeah, that's right. So now this is the next big event that's coming up, but you have these kind of things throughout the course of the year, right?
We do. We have a lot of different events that keep things a lot of fun. You know, if you're not interested in being part of a scavenger hunt, you might want to jump in in the ocean with us on the 1st of January.
So like sort of a penguin plunge kind of a thing,
It
right?
is, yes, yep. It's at the Bristol State Beach.
Does the executive director jump in the water too?
I have done it.
Okay.
This will be our 3rd year. I've done it the 2 years previously.
You have to. You have to set the example, right?
I can't,
Yeah.
you know, encourage people to do this if I'm not doing it
How's
myself.
the water feeling at that point?
Last year was pretty harsh.
Yeah.
The year before was beautiful. It was like 50 degrees out, sun was shining. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. And then last year it definitely hit us hard.
Wow.
But it's fun. Everyone is such a great sport, and it's so much fun.
What's the day-to-day duties of the executive director of Children's Wish Group of Rhode Island like? Talk about that a little bit.
I'm definitely very involved in the wishes. We do have an assistant director, Elaine, who helps to plan the wishes and goes through everything step by step, works with the volunteers and the family. But, you know, I try to stay as involved in the wishes as possible. So, you know, jumping in on the bedroom makeovers, visiting the children when they're getting picked up by their limo to go to Disney World. I want to be there. I need to be involved in that. It keeps me going. It keeps me feeling a part of everything. But aside from that, I am planning the events. I'm completing the marketing, the outreach, working with our sponsors, and
You kind of
all that
wear
fun
a lot
stuff.
of hats, huh? Yeah.
Right now
Including
I
be
do.
the PR person because you're coming on shows like this talking.
Exactly,
But it's
yes.
important to get the word out, isn't it?
It is. You know, we're so proud of what we do at Children's Wishes, and I don't mind spreading the good word, meeting new people, and getting everyone involved and feeling the way that we do.
Now, you said it's tough because sometimes resources are limited because it's strictly Rhode Island for the most part. But at the same time, is it helpful that you're able to, because it's a small state and it is just Rhode Island, you're able to sort of develop intimate relationships and get to know people and they get to know you? It's not some company, it's not some corporate. They know you. You're in the community with them, and that makes it maybe easier for them to want to get involved?
Definitely. I make sure to meet all of our sponsors, all of the people involved. We want to provide opportunities for them to meet the children if they are helping with a wish, or, you know, we want to get the children to the events so that, you know, the children can have a great time and experience, you know, some
That's the most
fun and
important thing,
dancing.
yeah.
And then also so that the volunteers or the supporters can meet who they're helping and really feel like everything is coming full circle for them.
It's so much better if they can see who they're giving their time, money, products to. I mean, it's a big difference.
There are a lot of people who work really hard with us to get these things done and to make these events happen. We have Circle Laurier in Woonsocket who holds multiple events throughout the year, and their only goal is to help bring happiness to children. So, you know, for them to be able to see exactly what we're doing, to see that we're working hard too. Everyone in every aspect of this organization is working hard, and we appreciate so much what they're doing for us. You know, being able to have them meet and develop a small relationship with the child, or at least, you know, get to have a hug from the child or a high five, it makes it all worth it, and it brings everything full circle for them.
If somebody is watching this and they feel that they might know someone or maybe a child of their own that could benefit from this organization, what's the first thing they would do?
They just need to go to our website, seewishesri.com. They can find a referral form on there. They can also call us too at 401-921-1300 and say that they have a child that they like to refer. They just fill out our pretty simple referral form. Once we get it, we then send it to the doctor, and the doctor is the one to qualify the child. So it's a very simple process. We do leave it up to the doctor. We're not medical professionals. They are. They know the children. They know the combination of, you know, what's going on with them, and they're the ones to qualify the child as having a life-threatening illness.
How many you know, requests or applications are coming in? Are you overwhelmed? Are you backed up? I mean, is there a desk pile of requests?
In the last few months, we've actually received quite a few referrals. So we are at the most referrals that we've been at since we started, which is a great thing. It means we're getting out there, but unfortunately, it means, you know, those are the sick children. It's harder to
get everything.
Right. Yeah. But you know, we're moving ahead. We have, you know, most of the kids booked for their wishes. They're just, you know, it's just a matter of a couple of months. They wanted to go in December or November or whatever it may be. So we will never have a backup and never have to say no. But we've definitely seen more coming our way, and we just work hard and stay prepared for that.
You mentioned the website. Are you on social media too? Are you on
Yes.
Facebook and all that?
Children's Wish Group of Rhode Island on Facebook. We have a page and a group, and Children's Wishes on Twitter.
Sounds like things are going well, and again, I can just see that your heart, it really warms your heart to be doing what you do. If you can be passionate about what you do for a living, I mean, does it get any better than that? You know?
It doesn't. It's pretty helpful to love what you do. Yeah.
Dana Rabchak is the Executive Director of the Children's Wish Group of Rhode Island. Pleasure having you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us for another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube site. In the meantime, we will see you next time. Take care.